Hi and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about Henry VIII. He is one of the most famous kings in England's history. First of all, let's look at some of the difficult words you will hear. Listen to the definitions and then try to match the word to its meaning. To appreciate means to recognise that something is good and to be thankful for. To break away from something means to move away from it or to create a distance between you and it. To execute someone means to kill them. Complications are things that make a situation more difficult. It also means a second illness that makes the first illness harder to treat. Infidelity means being unfaithful or disloyal to someone. If you outlive someone, it means you live longer than they do. You may wish to pause the video now while you match the words to the meanings. And here come the answers. Listen carefully to the information and try to answer the questions. At the end of the last video, Henry VII had become king. His eldest son was called Arthur. Yes, we almost had a real King Arthur. However, Arthur died, and so in 1509 it was the youngest son, Henry, who became king. Thankfully, Henry VIII is the last of our Henrys. Henry VIII is most famous for having 6 wives, although not all at the same time. The first was the Spanish princess Catherine of Aragon, who had originally been married to Henry's brother Arthur. She and Henry had one daughter, Mary, but Henry really wanted a son who would be his successor. When Catherine of Aragon reached an age at which it was obvious she wouldn't be having any more children, Henry decided to divorce her. This was not an easy thing to do because he needed permission from the Catholic Church, and the Pope refused to grant it. Henry wasn't a man who appreciated the word no, and so he decided to break away from the Catholic Church and to set up his own. And so the Church of England was established. Henry made himself the head of this new church, and this has survived so that even the current monarch, King Charles, is the head of the Church of England. Henry also closed all the monasteries in England, which had been very important and wealthy organisations for centuries. The second wife was Anne Boleyn, and she gave birth to another daughter, Elizabeth. However, Henry still wanted a son, and so Anne Boleyn also had to go. Henry had her executed and moved on to wife number 3, Jane Seymour. Jane gave birth to a son, Edward, but she died only a few days afterwards from complications with the birth. The next wife was Anne of Cleves. This marriage was a political one rather than a love match, and it didn't last for very long. Henry divorced her and married wife number 5, Catherine Howard. Catherine was accused of infidelity, and Henry VIII ordered her execution. The final wife was Catherine Parr, and she outlived Henry. Under the rule of Henry VIII even, Wales officially became part of a union with England, with an act known as the Act for the Government of Wales, and they began to send representatives to the House of Commons. And here come the answers. Did you get them all? Don't worry if you didn't. These questions were more difficult than the multiple choice ones I have given you in previous videos. You might want to re-watch to see if you can pick up the answers you missed, but if you're confident, stay with me, keep watching, and let's just summarise those main points. Henry VIII was the youngest son of Henry VII. He is best known for having 6 wives. Henry VIII broke away from the Catholic Church because the Pope would not let him divorce Catherine of Aragon. He had 2 daughters and a son. Wales formed an official union with England. Wales started sending representatives to the House of Commons. I hope you found that useful. You may wish to watch again, but if you feel confident, look out for the next video where we'll talk about 2 of Henry VIII's children, Edward VI and Mary. I look forward to welcoming you back very soon.